What is up, everybody? This is Nick Prezioso with another YouTube video that I wanted to put together. The last video I put out was kind of about like the mentality and how you get started shooting shows. This, I figured I would share what like I do and how, you know, I get the results that I get. Keep in mind that this is like one of a million ways to do this. Everybody is different, but this is what I do, and maybe it'll work for you. To a more experienced shooter, this is going to be kind of basic, but these are kind of my basics. I'm going to go over shutter speed, aperture, and ISO, and you know, just go over what I use and kind of my mentality behind them. So I'm going to start with what's kind of easiest for me, and that is ISO. ISO is one of those like set and forget parameters. Reason being is I never, well, not never, but seldom go past 1600. It has to be a really dim environment for me to try to push my camera's sensor past that. Reason being is you can still get a good exposure at 2500, but once you start getting into like 32 and 64, it introduces a lot of color noise into your photograph, and that kind of never looks good in my opinion. I mean, you know, there's an exception to every rule. There are certainly shooters that work with it, but I always think it makes the camera look like you're pushing it too hard, and it can look like you're shooting on a cheaper device than you probably actually are. Black Forge coffee is my jam. Next on my list is aperture. Aperture is also one of those kind of like no-brainer ones. You want your lens to be as wide open as you can. Most of the lenses that I shoot at are at 2.8, but a little trick I do is most lenses are at their sharpest 2 clicks back. So your 2.8 is actually sharpest at 3.5, and that is your sweet spot to shoot in. A lot of venues are a little bit too dim for 3.5, so you end up opening it all the way. But if you're in a situation that allows or that can handle shooting at 3.5, go for it, because that is your crispest. So the last one I'm going to go over is shutter speed, and the reason that is this was the kind of like the hardest one for me to like get a good grasp on, even though it is kind of the easiest one. When you shoot a concert, especially like a bigger concert, the lighting can shift very dramatically. You know, 1 second it'll be pitch black, another second lights will be everywhere, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. A piece of advice someone told me along the way was that time freezes around 200 to 250th of a second. When you go under 200, that's when you introduce a lot of camera shake and motion blur into your images. So I try to start at 200 and go up from there depending on available light in the room. And oh my god, is he just being the cutest right now? I'm sorry that it's off camera. These days I'm 100% manual for the entire show, but something that really helped me out when I first got started was shooting in aperture priority. What that does is it kind of locks your aperture and your ISO. The computer in the camera determines your shutter speed based on available light. The key to making it good for concert photography, hello Catrick, hey buddy. The key to make it good for concert photography is to set it a couple stops back so it's exposing for a darker environment. That really helped me when I was getting going. And another quick little tip that I find super helpful is you have a thing that looks like a little lightning bolt with a plus minus by it. That is your flash compensation. I always turn that way down, and it introduces a lot more detail into the highlights. So take that and bump it down as low as you can go, and you get a little bit more detail whenever you know, one of those super bright stage lights is on your subject. Get that sweet Catrick action. Hi buddy. Yeah, who's your good kitty? So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if this was your thing. Catrick wants me to go now. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good little kitty?